Russian troops have intensified their offensive on the Ukrainian foothold on the left bank of the Dnieper River in a town called Krinky. Today, I will show you how much military equipment the Russians are losing here during their senseless attacks. So let's begin. This Russian tank and APC were tasked with attacking the Ukrainian fortified position in Krinky. However, the Russians were unaware that a Ukrainian FPV drone was already hunting them. The tank was fully loaded with ammunition. Ukrainian soldiers controlled drones from a secure underground location. A powerful explosion occurred due to a shaped charged shell hitting the tank's vulnerable spot. The APC that followed the tank was abandoned. The Ukrainian drone skillfully ignited it by flying inside. Shortly after, it exploded, and you can see what's left of the Russian APC. Two more Russian tanks attacked in the same location. The first tank was hit by a Javelin missile. The second tank cautiously advanced but fell into a trap. It was hit by an FPV drone, and the crew scattered. Russian tanks find it nearly impossible to break into Krinky. These three Russian tanks were in the wrong place at the wrong time. After the first artillery hit, the crew started running away, abandoning their tanks without attempting to fight. Naturally, the abandoned tanks were incinerated by Ukrainian FPV drones. These Ukrainian guys set up a mine trap for Russian tanks. Now we see one of the Russian tanks boldly advancing, unaware of what awaits it. There are already two destroyed Russian tanks in front of it, but our hero decides he can outflank them from the left and also detonates a mine. On the other side of the town, two more Russian armored vehicles were on a mission. The first one exploded on a mine and was hit by a drone. The second one was simply abandoned in the middle of the road by a frightening crew. Then the Ukrainian FPV drone set it on fire. Engulfed in flames, the Russian armored personnel carrier burned brightly for a long time. This Russian APC was supposed to transport soldiers to the front line, but was blown up on a mine along with its ammunition. Another APC was following it and also exploded on a mine. Then all the ammunition inside detonated. What a sad fate awaits the Russians. These two Russian tanks were supposed to attack from a different direction, but the first tank exploded on a mine. The second tank felt the merciless strike of a Ukrainian drone. The attack failed. Another tank was hit by an FPV drone and caught fire. It's amazing how a few drones can halt any Russian invasion. Russians lost a lot of armored vehicles around the town of Krinky, but still couldn't reach their goal. Within the town limits, Russian tanks have no chance of avoiding defeats from ubiquitous Ukrainian drones. After infiltrating the town, the Russians set up a bunker in an abandoned house, but a HIMARS missile turns them into powder. Another house with Russians inside also turns into dust. And one more time. Krinky has already become a new graveyard for Russian tanks. In their attempt to eliminate the Ukrainian foothold, the Russians are losing more than expected. It's a big question. Can the Russian industry replenish such losses? This Ukrainian soldier shared a story of how he alone managed to thwart a Russian attack. After aerial reconnaissance spotted the advance of Russian armored vehicles, he used a Javelin missile to destroy one APC and one tank. The crew of the leading tank fled. Then, Russians continued with 4 more APCs. The soldier disabled one of them with a Javelin missile. The remaining APCs on the battlefield were burned using grenade-dropping methods. To the north of Bakhmut, Ukrainian forces also have to hold back the Russian troops' advance. Russians send infantry and tanks. This tank attempted to break through but got stuck in a trench. Shortly after, it was hit by a Ukrainian drone and exploded a few minutes later. Look at this Russian MLRS, Soltsepek. The crew was tasked with shelling Ukrainian positions, but the Soltsepek was hit by a Ukrainian drone before it could launch its rockets. Now, it's exploding with its ammunition. And Ukrainian soldiers are watching and recording the spectacle. This Russian APC was packed with explosives and sent towards Ukrainian positions to destroy their bunker. However, the Ukrainians destroyed it before it reached its target. This is a common practice among Russian forces, and I've shown you several instances of it before. Here, the Russians also lost numerous tanks. Burning abandoned tanks is a favorite pastime of Ukrainian soldiers. It's like a game. First, you have to accurately drop a grenade into the narrow opening of the tank turret, and then record a video of the tank burning for us to watch. Many young Ukrainian guys who enjoy playing computer games happily work as drone operators, partly because this job offers many spectacular moments. Sometimes, there are so many abandoned tanks that destroying them can take an entire working day, from early morning until late evening, leaving Russians with no chance of advancing. Let's give a thumbs up to the Ukrainian drone operators. They certainly deserve it. These guys handle aerial reconnaissance, providing target information for the HIMARS launcher team. They have suitable drones and all the necessary equipment for the job. Their goal is to identify enemy military vehicles and relay the coordinates to the HIMARS crew. This reconnaissance drone can soar high into the sky and hover above the clouds. Its optics allow it to spot targets within a 10-kilometer radius. The first target is quickly found. It's the Russian state-of-the-art 1K-148 electronic warfare station. This machine is used for enemy artillery reconnaissance, and its cost can exceed $200 million. However, just one HIMARS missile destroys this valuable Russian weapon. Among the pines, the Russians hit a Grad BM-21 along with ammunition. The HIMARS missile turns the target into a fiery storm. Unfortunately, we only regret the innocent trees. Next, aerial reconnaissance spotted the two S-4 self-propelled mortar in a truck with ammunition. Just one HIMARS missile renders them no longer usable. Two self-propelled howitzers, Nona, were also destroyed by one HIMARS missile. Russian anti-aircraft missile system, Strela 10. The Buk anti-aircraft missile system. Mobile command post on wheeled chassis. Field warehouse with ammunition. Near Avdiivka, the Russians are also losing a significant amount of armored vehicles. After a failed attack, Ukrainians burn all abandoned tanks and APCs. It's important to do this so that the Russians cannot evacuate this armor for repairs. The tanks that manage to enter the populated area are also destroyed. The equipment must be burned to ensure the enemy can no longer use it. Out of helplessness and anger, Russians resort to dropping incendiary phosphorus munitions. Russians launch new senseless attacks, hoping to capture at least one more village for their dictator, Putin. Putin has equipped them with tanks and ammunition, but hasn't provided them with intelligence. Look at this! One of the Russian soldiers, after a failed attack, upon seeing a Ukrainian drone, pleads for mercy, realizing that there's no hiding from an FPV drone. The Ukrainians took pity on him, sparing his life. Friends, leave your mark by giving a like to this video. That way, I'll know you've watched it until the end. Also, thanks for your comments, and see you soon in the next episode.